Day to dive because temperatures were pretty comfortable out there today.
Yeah, you really couldn't. And imagine telling people, oh, I went diving in January. And they're like, oh, wow, is it cold? And you're like, no, it's actually
You
like
get the
60
you're
degrees.
crazy eyes or
Yeah,
something,
pretty much. But I mean, this is as nice as I feel like January can get, especially for us. I know it was really cloudy outside and kind of gloomy. That's kind of how we started our weekend. It's how we're ending it. But at least last night and today we've been pretty dry, just gray out there. We woke up to some fog this morning, still overcast skies. That fog returning in just a few hours, but live look across the region right now. It is fairly quiet, which is some good news, and there's a lot to be said about that because we're tracking a not so quiet pattern in the next couple of days. So enjoy the calmness of today and also those warmer temperatures. Typically we're somewhere in the lower 40s this time of year, but right now we're hitting close to 60 degrees. Some of us going over that. Marie in the mid 60s. Paducah a bit cooler at 57. Cape Girardeau, Marion, and Mount Vernon all in those mid 50s. So really not a bad evening, and we're kind of staying around those mid 50s, low 50s as well for the next couple of hours. Still tracking those mostly cloudy skies. Fog will return in a few hours as well, so if you have any late plans, just be cautious of that patchy fog. But again, those mild temperatures staying with us Monday and Tuesday, though. The threat tracker is up. We're tracking a pretty big system as it moves across parts of the country, bringing us some storms, gusty conditions, and also still seeing that mild weather. So right now, plenty of clouds across the region. It's clear off down to our south, but there's that warm front, pretty large, extending off of that low pressure. Also has the cold front extended off of it. You can even see near Phoenix, they're seeing that severe thunderstorm warning. So that's actually the cold front that we're watching. It'll travel across the U.S. in the next couple of days, or the next day or so, I should say. And then today, though, again, just tracking more mild and quiet weather. Temperatures somewhere in those 50s and 60s. Cloud cover is staying with us. That warm front just stalls right over to our north, but it is keeping us fairly warm. Couple of isolated showers may begin early in the morning, but the bulk of it really not coming until later on. By the lunch hour tomorrow, we're in the mid 60s for some of us like Sikeston and Murray, a bit cooler near Carmi, but then there is that rain. Inconveniently, it'll be when a lot of us are heading home tomorrow, but temperatures very, very warm. Seeing that come up from the south, plenty of moisture, and then really picking up overnight tomorrow night. This will definitely be an overnight system to keep an eye on, especially around dawn on Tuesday as well. And then that cold front is going to push through, dropping our temperatures down. But let's watch that system as it moves through. So we've got the moisture coming up from the south. That cold front's extended. We've got a trough behind it. Plenty of snow on the western side of that low, but we're just going to get a lot of rain out of this. So when it comes to severe, there's a couple of factors that we do consider. One of them is instability. That's kind of the lift that we see, and it's fairly low, which is good news for our region. It's turning more medium over parts of Arkansas. The other factor we look at is wind shear. Wind shear is going to be pretty strong tomorrow. So even if we don't see severe weather, those gusts overnight tonight could be somewhere, or overnight tomorrow night could be somewhere between 40 to 45 miles per hour. So because of that, the Storm Prediction Center does have part of our region now included in a slight risk. That enhanced risk, though, 3 out of 5 still staying off to our south over Arkansas. Most of us, though, under a marginal risk. So a 1 out of 5. That includes parts of western Kentucky along with southern Illinois. The biggest risk we're watching with this is flooding. We're going to get a decent amount of rain in a pretty short amount of time. Localized flooding is possible. Winds as well, as we just talked about, that wind shear is pretty high. We could see gusty conditions overnight. We can't completely rule out tornadoes or hail, but because we're lacking that instability and lift, not as big of a concern. So here's those rain totals. Cape Girardeau, Poplar Bluff, even Paducah is seeing around 2 inches of rain. Carbondale surrounding areas seeing a little bit less. So again, this is an overnight system tomorrow night, timing somewhere between tomorrow evening and Tuesday morning. So you're going to want the Storm Track 3 app. It'll be great to have in case we do get any watches or warnings to let that wake you up in the middle of the night. But temperatures really nice the next couple of days. Again, our highs typically this year around those low 40s, but the next 2 days we're tracking mid 60s. Also tracking that shower and storm chance the next couple of days. But after that, we have a lot of dry and cooler air filling in behind it, and it's not cooler in a sense that it's cold compared to our average. It's just not as nice as maybe those mid 60s, but really not a terrible start to the new year.
60s in January, though. I mean, that's a nice gift to have to start the new year.
It is nice.
All right, thanks, Katie.